The Spring Air pillow top, about 10 years old. Really poorly constructed. A lot of beds are made this way. The pillow top panel is shifted way over, and it's not interflanged very tightly. The reason it's not because I've cut it open, but you know the panel just falls away. There's no structural integrity to the product at all. And a lot of brands make their beds this way to cut corners. Not to pick on this model, but there's a foam tub on the bottom, glued to the sides, and then there's a really low density thin piece that's glued on top. And you pull that away, and on the inside you have a Marshall coil unit. It's really thin steel, no porter rod, bottom, top. You can see on the inside there. And you know, these units in and of themselves, there's a little fabric glued on top to hold them together. But the glue that's holding these pieces together, there's no glue holding them together this way. These are just rows of springs, and what holds them together is just this piece of fabric on top right here that's glued on the top, and they have the same thing on the bottom. It's a real cheap way to make a Marshall coil unit. So again, very little structural integrity to the product, and you know, not much strength there. And on the inside of the foam tub, it's not secured at all. It's just hanging in there. Okay, so again, cheap way, wrong way to make a bed. This piece is glued on top, and that was basically your tub that had your inner spring unit. And then there's a real thin, low density foam layer on top of that. That would be your bottom. Then we get into the pillow top panel. Really thin piece of low density, low grade convoluted foam, and that's it. And then in the quilt panel we have some Dacron and two really thin pieces of foam right there. And then that's sewn together in the quilt to the pillow top, knife edge design pillow top, and you can see just way too big of a gusset for a thin little piece of foam right here. That contributes to part of the shifting right there. And then the inner flanging that is secured to the top and the bottom there pulls out pretty easily with the staples that they use. Again, it's just a testament to the density of the foam and the pretty cheap little staples that they use on this. There's different grades of staples to be used. So just sort of a lesson, and you wonder why it lacks integrity, you know, and just the way it's put together. And that's just a cheap way to make a mattress, the wrong way to make one.